Hi everybody, another episode with Holly. So this time I want to talk about some different ritual items that I have. Most of my stuff is in storage right now, so this is just the basic stuff that I was either able to access or have kept out specifically to use while I wait to get my stuff out of storage. Firstly though, I think we should go over some of my ritual notebooks. I don't have the big fat Book of Shadows yet. There are some beautiful pieces that are extremely expensive that I don't really want to buy until I try to make my own. And there are actually some really informative videos on YouTube that I'm going to be trying to follow and see if I can make something beautiful. And if not, then I'll just have to suck it up and spend a bunch of money on a very expensive Book of Shadows on the internet. So, firstly, when I was 13, this is my very first ritual notebook from back in 2001. You probably can't see that because that first entry is in pencil, and the whole thing is full of rituals that I did, spells that I cast, just talks about books that I read, people that I met in the pagan community, and different thoughts and ideas. I also have 3 little tiny notebooks. This one just from the dollar store with sort of not really spells, but more like poems and incantations, little things. I just love little tiny books like this. This one's really cute with sort of a kind of buttons and string to keep it together. These ones were not really for, Book of Shadow type things, more thoughts or ideas, not really a record like the other books. And then my mom actually gave me that one. It's really beautiful. And this one's pretty much full of different dream work that I did and rituals and things like that. And this one I found is really neat. It actually has photos of some different altars and just little things from when I first started. So that's kind of cool. It's nice to keep a record, especially if you're just starting out, because then you can watch your progress and sort of see how you develop, and if there's things that you used to do, as you go forward, that you can always look back and kind of get back to basics if you need to and reminisce. So that's nice. So for basic ritual items that I've been able to access, I have here my very first chalice. And you don't need a lot of money to get started. You don't need to have every single item. It's not mandatory by any means. I actually picked this up at a dollar store that was by my house when I was growing up. And my very first one actually broke. I dropped it on the hard floor and it shattered. But they still had some in stock, so I picked up another one. And it's a good representation of the element of water for my chalice because it's clear, it's made of glass, it's got the blue stem, and just very simple and elegant, and that's all you really need. And it was at a dollar store. Can't go wrong. From there, I was actually given this chalice from another witch that I used to know when I lived in another city, and this one I had access to still. So, of course, some of the basic items are going to represent your elements. So, chalice is mainly used for the consecrated wine, for reenacting the symbolic great rite, of course, and for the element of water, in my opinion. I also have always used this little saucer, this little dish. I think I stole it from my mom, actually. And I've always liked it just because it's very simple. It can hold a little bit of water, and then you can make holy water that way. And it does have some little blue flower design on the side. I don't know if you can see it or not. But I always keep this on my altar with a little bit of water in it. Well, it's empty now, obviously. To put the salt into, holy water. You get it. Right now, because like I said, most of my stuff is in storage and we're kind of in a somewhat confined space, in my opinion, I'm using stick incense right now. So I just got this in an occult shop. There are tons of these available. Normally, I like to burn incense in either this little copper cauldron type dealie. I really cannot remember where I got this thing from. I've had this for as long as I can remember, but it's very, very cute. And I like to use this to burn incense because it is up high. It won't heat up and burn down the house. I still like to stick it on something else though, like a tile or whatnot. If you put a little bit of salt or sand in it, and then you can put those little discs, you light it, and then you can put your non-combustible incense on that. So that's what I use that for. Or you can also use your cauldron for that. You can find these online. My dad picked this up for me in an occult store in Saskatchewan, of all places. I didn't think they would have that there, but he brought this back for me. So pretty basic. I've seen these online, I've seen these around. And another representation of course, the womb of creation, the goddess, water. So handy for ritual work, for burning incense, for burning spells, work, and stuff like that. So many versatile uses. I recommend everyone get one if you can. So that's basically it for water. And of course, incense for air. I do have my very original pentacle that I made. Oh, I'm holding it the wrong way. That I made when I was a teenager. I just got a wood disc from Michael's or any craft store and some paints. I just painted it on. It's kind of rough, but I like it, and I haven't had a real reason to replace it because it works and it's sentimental and I like it. It's cute. And I have seen some very beautiful pieces of artwork, pentacle-wise, that are extremely expensive. And I can't bring myself to do that. I do want to make another one. I was in the grocery store yesterday, actually, and found a glass plate and some silver Sharpie kind of pens. And I'm going to make another video sort of showing you how to make another kind of pentacle for different kinds of rituals. So, back to my show and tell. Your athame, most books will tell you should be a black-handled knife. I have two, and neither of them are black-handled knives. This one is an antler handled knife with a sheath, which is nice, just for safety's sake. This is actually of Scottish origin, and I think it was my dad's, but it's not for ritual work. And it's nice and small, very compact for travel. Not that you should really be traveling with a knife, but if you have to go somewhere and you need to do ritual work, it's versatile. So this is my second athame, my larger one, if you will. Again, not black-handled, but beautiful. And again, with a sheath, again, for safety reasons. And the weight of this is wonderful. I love the weight of it. The feel in my hand is very sturdy, very strong, and I think it lends itself to the element of fire. There's some debate on whether wands or athames are fire or air. I like to think of an athame as fire because it's forged in fire, which makes sense to me. But again, there's a lot of debate on that. I think a wand is air because it's lighter. It's used for less kind of, it's used more for asking than for telling. Does that make sense? And wood does burn, but you don't want it to. So for me, that's air. I actually don't have a wand, and that's something that I have attempted to make and failed. And I just don't have that kind of skill. So when I finally find one that I like, or sorry, that I love, then I will probably purchase it instead of make it. I feel like most of your ritual items, if you can, should be found items, should be gifts, should be made. things like that. But I mean, that's not always going to be the case. Obviously, I wasn't going to make an athame. I have one that was a gift, another that actually this one was a gift too, but I picked it out. And then of course found items if you can, but I mean, whatever. They also say you shouldn't barter or try to get the price down if you're buying ritual items. I really can't fathom why, but if you know why that's a belief, please message me, let me know, because I think a bargain is a good thing, but to each their own. One thing that I did have to hunt for many years to find was a goddess statue that I really liked. And this one I finally found when I was in Vancouver. And I had gone through a couple. There was one that I actually bought and I actually really disliked, so I returned. And then I finally found this little guy. And according to the bottom, it says handmade from Ganges clay in India. I don't know if that's true, but it's very beautiful and speaks to me, and I always have her, no matter where I'm living or where I am, I always have her out. So, additionally, I do have a proper size broom, and I have made brooms in the past, which is not my forte. I find it very difficult, but I made this a long time ago, just a little altar broom out of pine needles and a little pine stick, and it's just very, very cute, and I like it. So I try to keep that from disintegrating as best as I can because it is quite old. Some other things that I think you should have, if you can, are little jars. They are excellent for all kinds of things. I found these jars at IKEA, go figure. And in here I just have cords that are used for cord magic. You just cut it to the appropriate size of the appropriate color for your spell and use it thusly. I like to have a lot of my ritual accessories, I guess, in jars as well. Different potions, mixes, incenses, spells can all be put in jars. Fabulous. And then, of course, candles. You need candles. And the holders can be simple. I have some ornate, pronged silver get-ups, some heavier ones, but just little glass ones are fine too. You can get them at the dollar store. Same for candles. And also this is useful. Can't remember where I got this. They're not very expensive, just a candle snuffer, just so that you're not blowing out a candle when you're still in the middle of using that candle for spell work, and you of course have to leave, and you should never leave a candle burning unattended. A lot of books tell you to do that. Do not do that. Your house will burn down, I promise you. So please snuff it out, and then just light it again when you're present so that you're not jeopardizing your home. So I have a couple of boxes here that are different tarot decks. Oh, maybe I shouldn't show that one. It's got nudity. So this is the Vision Tarot. Couldn't remember what it's called. And then this is my first tarot deck, and it's photographs. So I thought that was really interesting. And then you can pick up these boxes in pretty much any occult store or New Age store. They all have them. And they're the perfect size for tarot decks, probably by design. This one I love because it's got the goddess symbol as well as a pentacle on it, if you can see that. And this one has the Rider-Waite deck in it, which I think is really good for learning. I'm drawing lots of swords today. Just because most resources that I found work off that because it's pretty basic. So that's that. Not everyone's interested in runes, but I have a very cool rune set that I like. It's in a little leather bag. And these runes, it took me a long time to find runes that I really liked. These runes are made of bone, and I thought that was very true to Nordic traditions. So once you find, you can make a set if you have time. But when I found this set, I knew it was perfect for me, so I scooped it. Okay. And lastly, but not least, I have in this little silver box, this little guy. So, of course, this pendulum's made of silver, the chain and whatnot. And then we have got a little crystal on the end and a stone that in the store they could not tell me what it was. So it's a little red stone. I know there's a number of little red stones, or a number of red stones out there, but I'm not sure what this one is. I don't know a whole heck of a lot about crystals. I've never really utilized that aspect. But if you can tell me what that is, or if you need more information from me, let me know, because I'm very curious to know what that is. It's kind of a brownie red, I guess, like you could say. So I like to keep all divinary tools locked away in boxes or bags, just so they don't get other energies on them. That's just my opinion. That's how I feel most comfortable keeping them. And I try to keep most of my ritual tools, I mean, the ones that I use all the time are on my altar or on the windowsill, but most of them, or on a shelf, I guess, but most of them are kept kind of wrapped up and hidden away, just so that, well, so my kid doesn't play with them, for starters, and then also just so that they're not always touched or exposed to everything that's going around. So yeah, that's just how I keep them. And next video we'll be making a magical tool. So any other questions about the ritual tools, let me know. It's pretty straightforward. You don't need anything necessarily to start working. It would be nice to have sort of the 4 basics, so a wand or an athame if you prefer. A chalice is nice. A pentagram or pentacle is nice. A cauldron is fantastic if you can get a hold of it. And of course, you know, little things, candles, incense, and a dish to do holy water in. Salt is good. I prefer sea salt, or table salt is fine, but it's really processed, so sea salt is nicer. And you can get all kinds of variations of sea salt. There's pink sea salt. I don't know if it's sea salt, but it's pink. There's all kinds that I've seen around, but I just like straightforward sea salt. So whatever floats your boat. Yeah, so any questions, let me know. And I'm also available for emails if you prefer to email, and I will answer you, I promise. All right, we'll see you later.